Hey, Bastish BL for 64K and welcome to another episode of New Retro. So if you've never watched this series before, basically I take a look at new games for old systems, and we also have a look at the game that might have inspired it, the inspiration game. And today's games are Okay, so let's first take a look at the possible inspiration game. Rastan Saga, or just plain Rastan as it's known in the West, was released by Taito in 1987 in the arcades. Taito were a powerhouse arcade company that produced countless arcade hits in the 80s, including two other gems in 1987, namely Arkanoid 2 and Rainbow Islands. Not only were they the masters of arcade games, but they did many excellent home console games as well. Rastan came out right in the heart of their most fruitful period, arcade-wise, and was a side-scrolling fantasy hack-and-slash adventure game. It had your run-of-the-mill I'm on a quest to kill a dragon storyline, but the presentation was excellent and featured really colourful, well-animated graphics with a great visual style spanning its 6 levels. Slicing and dicing beasts, picking up new weapons and power-ups, jumping on the ropes, all the classic stuff that you expect from this type of game was here and done extremely well. 1987 and 1988 saw many ports of the game to home systems such as the Master System, MSX, and the C64. Speaking of the Commodore 64 version, this is obviously the inspiration for today's other game, but the difference is it's more of an influence of doing something better as opposed to trying to replicate it. So what I mean is that the original C64 conversion of Rastan was handled by Imagine, and let's just say it's kinda mediocre at best. Gameplay wise, it's slow and very cumbersome with lots of bad jumping mechanics. It tries hard, but it just does not capture the fun of the arcade. Having said that, I did play it quite a lot back in the day, and there was probably more to do with the excellent Martin Galway SID soundtrack that the game was blessed with. Definitely the high point of this version. For C64 owners out there, we are finally vindicated with a new version of sorts of this classic arcade game that definitely turns the tables on this mediocre C64 conversion. And now let's check out the new game. The Age of Heroes was released in the first quarter of 2019 by Psytronik software for the C64. I've been keeping tabs on this game for a while now, ever since I first found out it was by the same team that did Organism, another fantastic little C64 game. With Akim Volkers on programming duties, Trevor Story on graphics and design, and Sol Cross on music and sound effects, you know this is going to be something special. The story is you have to gather a bunch of stones to get rid of some evil in the land, you know, your usual fantasy nonsense backstory. It's pretty much on par with Rastan's throwaway plot. As you can probably see though, this game is very much inspired by Rastan, particularly the C64 version, but oh, does it do it 1,000 times better. Just like the Rastan arcade, this is a scrolling hack and slash with the ability to pick up weapons and smart bombs and kill all manner of beasts and bosses. There are 15 levels to play through, and you can access them from a map and tackle them in all different orders, although your path will eventually be blocked if you haven't found the stones for completing the levels, which gives you access to new areas. The best part about this game is that you can backtrack and replay any level again, which really helps you upgrade your character. As the game employs some light RPG elements, the more beasts you kill, the stronger you get as you level up. So replaying older levels is key. Visually, I think the stages are really varied and look really good. I love that they are not too long and don't overstay their welcome. Taking out the giant head bosses gives you access to better weapons like a giant axe or improved sword. There is a massive variety of monsters you can fight, and each one can be taken out in different ways. The game feels really good and is not slow and clunky like the original C64 Rastan, but moves briskly and handles quite well. There are also some really nice fantasy-esque tunes to be heard throughout the game. The game is also generally pretty easy, which makes it way more accessible to the average gamer. Also, make sure to check out the excellent music demo that's also included in the game. Overall though, a brilliant tribute to Rastan that stands head and shoulders above the C64 version in almost every way. Okay, so where can you get these games? Age of Heroes is available from Psytronik software. You can go to their website, I'll leave a link below. You can pick it up in its digital form, or you can pick it up in its physical, which is available on disc and tape in a nice big box just like that. As for Rastan, the original arcade version, you can check it out on the Taito Volume 1. That was available on the PS2 and Xbox Original. It's an excellent compilation. Probably the easiest way to play the original arcade version anyway. And as for Rastan, the original Commodore 64 version, it was available physically. You can pick up a physical version on eBay, or you can also check out CSDB.dk. You can pick up a digital version there. You can do a search, you'll find it quite easily. And that's it. Thanks for joining me, Bastishb at 64K. I hope you had a good time. If you can like and subscribe, that would be greatly appreciated. I'll see you next time. Cheers.